Testing. Testing? Is it alright? Okay. Testing. Good afternoon, Mr. Roosdale, Mr. Omit, and the board. In the online classifieds industry, there is no room for second place. There comes a point when the largest player grows beyond critical mass and they monopolise all new users. You need to be a leader to ensure that you are first in line to reach this lucrative position. Shipstead has been quick at spotting opportunities to take successful ideas to new regions. This has allowed you to expand and have #1 positions in many of your markets. You brought us here today and asked us how to expand your classified media division in line with Shipstead's current strategic vision. We consider this question in light of a bigger question: how Shipstead can be the most attractive media company in Europe. Through our analysis, we identified 3 key issues: critical mass, imitability, and target. And from these key issues, we derived our strategy, Race to the Top. It is 2 parts: places, which involves expanding your geographic reach to Russia and Hungary, and people, which involves protecting your current market and expanding your user reach by establishing a research squad, by introducing new websites, and by adding new features to existing websites. By following our strategy, the value of your company will increase by 51%, from 11.6 billion to 17.6 billion Norwegian kroner. But beyond these financial gains, you will be a leader in your markets. You will expand your geographic reach, you will expand your user reach, and improve their searching experience. That was an overview of our presentation today. I will now pass you to Luke, who will run through our key issues and strategy.
Thanks, Alison. We've identified 3 key issues: critical mass, imitability, and target. The first key issue is critical mass. This is where a website becomes self-fueling. A high number of users attracts a high number of sellers, which in turn attracts even more users. There is a point where this process grows a site so large that no competitor with a similar offering is viable. If anyone makes it to this point, supermass, then it needs to be you. That is why you need to be the leader. To be the leader, it's best to be the first mover or to acquire the first mover. To remain the leader requires a combination of good marketing, top quality knowledge of your users and their wants and needs, and the ability to innovate and replicate the innovations of others in all the regions you operate in. The second key issue is imitability. Online services are easily and perfectly imitable. This means that when a good idea or concept comes out in one region, there's a window of opportunity for you to take this idea, adapt it, and replicate it in other regions before anyone else does. What this also means is that when you yourselves come out with a top quality idea or concept, you are able to take it to all the regions you operate in and generate multiple returns from one idea. The third key issue is target. Currently, you target your users based on region. You can better link buyers and sellers by understanding their wants and needs and targeting them accordingly. In light of these 3 key issues, we've come up with a strategy called Race to the Top. It has 2 parts: places and people. The first part is places. We've said that you need to attain a leadership position in any new regions you enter. In light of this, we've adopted or modified your criteria for geographic expansion in 3 ways. Firstly, by reducing the minimum population from 10 million to 5 million, because smaller markets can still be lucrative if they have high internet uptakes. Secondly, we've said that these markets do not need to be easy to physically reach because of new technologies such as video conferencing, which mean that physical barriers are no longer as important as they used to be. And thirdly, we've said that these markets need not be young, but if they are not, then they need to have a viable acquisition target. So we've applied these criteria And after doing so, we're recommending that you move your existing site models into Russia and Hungary. The second part of our strategy is called people. We've shown that online services are imitable, and this creates a window of opportunity for them to be replicated in other regions. So in light of this, you need to build a research squad. This is an intelligence team that has three functions. Firstly, to closely monitor the web for any emerging trends or concepts that are creating a buzz and could be a good concept for your company, and to develop an imitation or replication plan so you can adapt these to the regions in which you operate before anyone else does. Secondly, to build and maintain continue to build a robust profile of your users and their wants and needs so you can better serve them in the future. And thirdly, to come up with innovations of your own, which you can take to the markets that you operate in before anyone else does. We've also recommended some other changes: new sites and new features. The new sites are threefold. Firstly, a full-service portal for students involving classifieds and forums. Secondly, a new tab on your existing Blocket-style websites aimed at women involving forums and classifieds, but part of your existing sites. And thirdly, the possibility of a price spy website in your regions where price-sensitive users can log on and monitor prices of online retail goods, not separately to your classifieds, online retail goods from online retailers. The new features that we're recommending are also threefold. Firstly, a completely personalized homepage that users will see when they log into your Blocket-style websites. This will show them a selection of classifieds from a predetermined favorite categories of classifieds. Secondly, the ability to search for certain classifieds in the entire EU region rather than just by country. This is because there are many goods that are easily transportable across borders. We're not talking about jobs, cats and cars here. We're talking about general goods, such as, for example, a second-hand laptop that I could easily send from Austria to Hungary. There's no need to limit that by border. And thirdly, the ability to ask and answer questions online in the classified websites in a forum setting rather than by telephone or email. This is so that users can see what questions have already been asked and answered and don't need to ask the same thing twice, and gives more information about the products. I've taken you through the analysis and strategy. Kitty will now show you the financial impact of our strategy.
Thank you, Luke. So I'll now walk you through the financial implication of our strategy, Race to the Top. We'll begin from the current valuation of your company as well as of the SEM division. Then we'll move on to forecasted cash flows from the two arms of our strategy, places and people. Lastly, we'll sum up with the overall financial impact for Shipstead. So now, starting off with the current valuation. We have valued your company in two different ways. Under the discounted cash flow model, using a WACC of 13%, we valued your company at $13.6 billion. And under the multiples approach, which is a more conservative market assessment, your company is valued at $9.7 billion. We averaged the two and came to a final valuation of 11.6 billion Norwegian kroner. So, looking specifically at the SEM division, we valued it at 7.9 billion, assuming a compounded annual growth rate of 15% for the next 5 years. So moving on to the strategies. Under the first arm of